Entering the Mayo experience.
Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by DraftKings. Week 3 recap, Week 4 guessing the spreads, programming the A block, the moment of the week, and as always, cooking for Cust in an air fryer today. Shoestring fries. We'll see how it goes. Thank you for joining us as these final games whittle themselves down. It looks like Dallas is going to lose, KC is going to win, and I'm guessing Seattle is going to hold on. The Panthers are coming down the field, but there's flags on the play. There's only 5 minutes left in that game. Who really cares? Seattle is up by 9. I'll fill you in if anything happens, or you have the internet and other TVs. I'm sure you can figure it the fuck out, all right? Smash the like while you're here and sub to Mayo Media Network. You cannot comment on the live show, at least, in the live chat. If you are not subbed to the channel, Chris Meaney is on the line with us, and in studio, Cust is here, who put on his own earpiece for the first time ever, and I told him to clip it to the back of his neck, and take a look at where it is. Look at the camera.
It's clipped. It's clipped, okay? I feel like a 4-year-old who said, I'm going to dress myself today. And I'm wearing, pants for a shirt and shirt for pants.
I do like this outfit, I gotta say. It is something that my deceased grandfather would wear, but I feel like it suits you very well.
I think it's what they call sort of like golf casual, and I really like it.
I mean, it's golf
Tim,
casual.
it took you this long? Long to hook up a IFB?
I'm not good. I'm not good.
The fact that he has a cardigan and wasn't able to put the mic, or sorry, the cord underneath the card, not even underneath his golf shirt, just like underneath the cardigan. Would it take 2 seconds? But he's new at this, right?
Yeah, he's only been doing this live in studio for each of the past 2 years, and every time he would come into studio before that. But hey, it's only been 10 years or so. We can figure this out at some point. Meaney, you were going to be in, but you ended up staying at home today to make sure we could watch all of the games. You probably could have skipped the later games. They were not super enjoyable.
No, none of them were. Yeah, sorry not to be there with you guys in studio. We'll definitely hook up here in the near future. But the afternoon games were awful. I guess, some surprises, I suppose. Arizona looks like you said, they're closing that one out. The Carolina-Seattle game was okay. Definitely if you're a deep league owner of Thielen and DJ Chark, those guys much better with the red rifle, Andy Dalton. But that Bears game was really tough to watch. Justin Fields and company cannot move the ball. Ugly football. Man, there's a lot of actually ugly football today. Some offenses that you think would just be okay, mediocre, not even close to being mediocre.
Well, let's start with the Bears. We'll talk about, Jeff will be on Tuesday. We'll talk about the Chargers and their genius coach and everything great that he did. Actually, you know what? I do want to start with that before we get to the worst teams. Because I don't hate the Chargers' decision to go for it on 4th and 1. What I don't understand is, every time they go for it in one of these really bizarre situations, in their on their own side, 4th and 1, they run their worst play possible every single time. Justin Herbert's 6'5"?
Yeah.
250 pounds? He's fucking Dante Culpepper. Let him fucking sneak the ball a half yard. That's all you need to do.
Or
game over.
Let Parham, who's 6'8", take a direct snap
just
over the top.
Yeah, here you go, Parham. Done. It works in the end zone every single time. They can't get 1 yard with him. No, we have to run Josh Kelly, who fucking sucks up the middle. That's our play.
Disastrous. And as we were saying in the house, the look on Staley's face when it didn't work, the blood rushed from his face. And then even after the game, after they won, he was like, guess I got away from that one because I'm off the hook. It's like, I don't know what.
How many times has he tried that? He's done this over and over and over again. And this one's, I don't mind it either, Pat. I think that the play call itself was awful. The defense, they were kind of on their heels the entire second half. So it kind of felt like if they were going to punt it away that, Minnesota was going to move the ball. But I don't know how many times I've seen teams go for it on 4th and 2 and run it right up the middle of the field. There's no creativity at all. And I wonder if Staley, I would assume he would have been on the hot seat starting 0-3, and if they would have lost that game with that play.
Too cheap to fire anyone. That's what we've learned about the Chargers, at least from Jeff's DMs with Spanos Jr. You can't fire people midway through the season. Fortunately for the Chargers, They were playing the Vikings.
Yeah, there's just like three teams that are dumber or as dumb as they are. They happen to be playing the Vikings. I would have punted the ball there because the Vikings needed a touchdown to win. The field goal wasn't a play. And just, you're not going to be capable of calling a good play there. So
Yeah, but he doesn't know that.
They ought to know. Everybody knows.
He thinks the fact that he's going for it on his own 24-yard line, at least in his mind, he thinks he has like the play. Like, you know what they won't expect here? Giving the ball to our worst offensive player.
Surprise!
Should have Keenan Allen throw the ball.
I mean, he's not even close to the worst coach in the AFC West, but he's up there.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that in a second because I think they might come up in our worst teams discussion.
I hope so.
Well, after the game, KOC, Kevin Conley, whatever the hell that guy's name is, E from Entourage, the head coach of the Vikings. He had to take the blame on the no spike with Kirk Cousins. You think Kirk would because he said he sent in the call like, hey, we're going. Here's the play. We're gonna run it and we're not gonna clock the ball, but.
You can't huddle up.
Kirk's got to fucking spike the ball.
You can't huddle up there. Yeah. Nothing else. You get to the line, you call your play, you look at your protection, and you snap it. Indefensible. Dumb. Dumb.
But you know how we watch the games, Meaney? How we have, if there's 9 games, 2 of them don't make the screen. They might find their way on if one of the games is a blowout at half or whatever it may be. But we kind of locked in each of the 3 weeks, and we have not been wrong yet that either the Vikings or Chargers have been on the main screen. So when they're clashing, that's got to be the game.
Highly entertaining football, both of those teams. And when I was thinking about which side to pick, I was on Minnesota because I was thinking, the Vikings just seem to win these close games, and the Chargers seem to find a way to lose those close games. But it was highly entertaining. I actually hit a 30-1 same game parlay in that game. I just took the over on everybody. Addison, Hawkinson, Jefferson, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, each quarterback to have 2 passing touchdowns. Doesn't always work out that way, but when those two teams play, there always seems to be something happening, good and bad. And with Feinberg, I still don't know how he's done it all these years, and that's a big W for him because it probably would have counted them out at 0-3.
Well, we got a lot of support for Jeff in the comment section as soon as we came on the air. So shout out to everyone out there. Smash the like if you want to comment and sub to the channel. That's the only way you can do it. Jeff has to be so lit on gummies after today. Jeff, you won. Jeff spelled incorrectly. The Chargers stink. I mean, they won, so they can't stink that badly. At least Jeff won't ruin Yom Kippur dinner this year. Just great things for Jeff. Everything came up Jeff.
Very happy for Jeff. I personally am delighted for him. You don't want to see a team lose that way. For a change, there were 2 double deflections, and both of them went the Chargers' way, both for a touchdown and then for not a touchdown.
Let's see here.
If Randall Cobb could catch, the double deflection would have resulted in a Jets win too.
This looks like a Seattle touchdown, so that's probably the end of
another Kenneth Walker
touchdown?
touchdown?
No, it's not. It's whoever 89 is. Oh, Bobo. Bobo the Bear.
Bobo.
Wow. Like Walker is in your winning lineup?
Not even the most shocking touchdown.
Or in the
most shocking touchdown of the day was that Jimmy Graham, exists in the NFL still.
You thought I was joking when I said it was Jimmy Graham.
I couldn't believe you. And then the person who was with us, I said to him when he came in, Jimmy Graham scored a touchdown. He didn't believe me that Jimmy Graham was A, active, and B, could score a touchdown.
Did you know that Jimmy Graham still played football, Meaney?
Unfortunately, I did, because it's all I heard when he signed with the Saints. So I thought he was just signing to retire originally. Like, I thought, okay, he's back with the Saints and he's just going to hang it up, the one-day contract sort of deal. But I would never ever would have guessed that he would score a touchdown today.
Yeah, so it's 37-20 for Seattle now because Tyler Lockett just got a 2-point conversion. So that is over. I would like to congratulate myself as being the winner of the Spread Pick / Cust Corner weekly show Survivor or Eliminator champion. You had a 50-50 chance of going undefeated this year. I guess it came on the other 50%
means
side.
That, you're just as likely to be wrong as right, and I was wrong. What do you do? Dallas looked like an unstoppable juggernaut through 2 weeks, and just from the start of the game, we're just never really in it.
It was not a great thing, though, Meaney, because I went 0-3 on the best bets for the second straight week, which is never a lot of fun because we're not allowed to pick Thursday games. And I had all my money on San Francisco this week, Survivor. They were the super lock of the week. And then you get to the best bet. You're like, oh, I have one good bet this week, and I can't use it anymore. And you end up doing things like taking Tennessee and Chicago. Not great.
I was on the Titans. I had the under in that one, but I was on the Titans. It's been I was 8-0 on sides until today. It was a bit of a rough day. I was on Dallas as well, on Miami, and then when Waddle was ruled out, I was like, could Denver cover this? I started to like second guess that pick, and man, that game was over in a hurry. 70 points. They still had 8 minutes left in the game. 8 minutes left in the game. And they put up 70 points. It's unbelievable. When we're talking worst teams, of course, I can already tell Tim. Yeah, we'd be talking Peyton, we'd be talking Broncos and Russ. And this defense I thought was okay. It is not at all. Miami is cooking everyone so far offensively, but the defense in Denver looks atrocious.
They only
and
scored
again,
24
bad
points.
football today.
They only scored 24 points last week against the Patriots. It's not like the Dolphins lit the world on fire with a little bit of resistance last week. Let's pump the brakes a little bit.
Well,
the Patriots had the ball with a chance to tie or win last week.
Let me throw this out.
Hold on.
Because the game next week is in Buffalo, and it's at 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
It's an early game. So last week, I can't imagine, I don't have like the forecast in front of the historic forecast. Can't imagine it was warm in New England last Sunday night.
No, with the rain and everything. No.
Yeah. I worry about Miami in November and December and January. Like, I think they're going to... This is almost exactly what they did last year. They came out and just fucking cooked everyone when the weather was nice.
Yeah. Exactly what Denver did last year, too. Then they fired the worst coach ever to hire the most genius coach you've ever heard of.
Well,
and
I will
somehow
say...
they got worse.
I don't know if they got worse because the
guess
guy who coached them is now coaching a historically bad offense.
Yeah, but that's not his fault.
Oh, that's not his
They don't have a
fault. So
quarterback.
nothing's his fault.
No, but they don't have a quarterback. To be fair, he didn't have a quarterback last year either. But he doesn't have a quarterback.
So
He's got
to be fair to him, he didn't have a quarterback last year. But the guy who sucks with the same quarterback, it's his fault?
Oh, but he said that this team had turned it around. He really liked his team. That that they were making great strides.
I got to ask you, what do you expect him to say?
This
team sucks.
He doesn't have to make grand pronouncements.
His grand pronouncement was, I like the look of our... How's it shaping up, Coach? Well, I think we're absolute dog shit. We're not going to win a game.
He can say things like, we're working hard. I think we're turning around. Stuff. Anyway, how does 70 points feel? Bye-bye.
Well,
talk about a humiliation.
I think he called out Nathaniel Hackett because I feel like he called him out because he realized, like, whoa, this team is pretty brutal. Like, I'm not going to be able to fix these guys, so... Just wanted to let you know it was really bad with Nathaniel Hackett, and it's going to take me 2 or 3 years to kind of like fix up that mess. But
you kind of
really
look like Judge Smalls.
to begin with.
Is that where you're getting like your golf casual look from?
Your Honor.
Denver plays the Jets, Meaney, in 2 weeks.
I can't get excited for it.
Well, what if Denver beats them?
They probably should.
Should they?
The Jets are
You were kind of come on here and you're saying bye-bye to Denver. They're the worst team in football. Then they're going to beat your team.
Well, the Jets are a dead fish. As long as they're playing the 32nd best quarterback in the NFL at quarterback, they're not going to win games. They can't.
Okay, how about this? I think Brandon Staley should still be fired.
I agree, but I said that last year.
And replace him with Dion.
I would agree.
No,
Dion only gets one
Doesn't
loss.
want to be in the NFL, apparently.
Every team. It's just Dion's a rotating coach. He just gets one loss, and then he has to leave whatever program that he's with and go to a new program and get them super fucking hype for a while. Let them overachieve. Then he can be gone to somewhere else. He's like a rent-a-coach.
Even he couldn't fix Zach Wilson.
You sure?
No, he's unfixable.
Who has a better... Okay, we'll just do the worst teams right now. Who has a better chance, more likely, I guess, meaning... of winning XFL MVP next year? Justin Fields or Zach Wilson?
Oh my goodness, I don't think Zach Wilson could win it. I
agree.
would say he has a better chance of playing in the XFL, but I don't think that he could. I don't think he would be good in the XFL. This guy wouldn't be good, high school football in the Annapolis Valley in Nova Scotia with just like kids that are playing football for the first time. It's just not. I can't believe when I watch him play, and I just don't know what the next step is because the defense is so good. They tried to get Rodgers, obviously a big blow. Like, what's the next step? Like Carson Wentz is on the sidelines with no team, and he would be better than Zach Wilson for that.
They should have tryouts week after week after week until somebody sticks.
Wait, listen, we Googled to see if Blake Bortles was available. He is available right now. If you want to have Blake Bortles.
Pick up somebody, my goodness. Like,
well,
someone has to have enough sense. If it's not Joe Douglas because he's proud and wants to stick with his pick, if it's not the coach because he wants, then Woody's got to get involved and show up and say, if you folks would like to be employed after this season, he can't take another snap. I don't know what else you can do.
Well, you actually had a good solution, but I did want to run this by you because you keep saying this. You've declared the Jets the hypothetical champion, Super Bowl champions. You said after 4 snaps, it was clear they probably weren't going to lose a game this year, and they were clearly going to win the Super Bowl.
what I said.
And then their quarterback snapped his Achilles in half. But he's going to be fine in like 3 weeks, apparently.
According to him.
Yeah, he has magic crystals. He's rubbed on it, and he's fine now.
He would be a better option right now than Zach Wilson.
In a wheelchair?
Yes.
Oh, I told you. It could be like that King of the Hill episode where they just let Rodgers come in to score a touchdown like the bulldozer.
They could just be in a super long shotgun where he just could throw.
Oh, there you go. That's the only thing the Jets had is good for right now is to eat these shoestring fries out of.
Oh, my goodness. I'm like Unky Mo putting these fries in my boiling hot hat.
These are very hot. How do they look? They look crispy?
They sound crispy.
They're probably extremely
they're
hot,
extremely
you moron!
hot. Oh, my goodness. Ouch. Ouch. Look, I got a blister on my finger.
He just poured them out of the...
I
guess
got
that's
blisters
Paul's
on
fault.
my fingers.
This is the 3rd week in a row. I know you're antsy to eat the shoestring french fries.
Ouch.
You hold that up to the camera.
I got a boo-boo on my finger now.
Shaughnessy had to tell them they're hot. Be careful, though. They're hot. Right?
You're the reason
tell
that they had to put that
Yeah.
on the side of fucking coffee at McDonald's.
When you go to a restaurant and the plate or whatever is hot, they always tell you, watch out, this is hot. No one warned me. I can't be held responsible.
So, because Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and obviously they were going to win the Super Bowl, I really think this was the best case scenario for the Jets, Chris. And this is why. Because they were probably going to suck with Roger anyway, because they're the Jets, and that's what they do. And I heard all about, oh man, this bomb squad. The bomb squad doesn't look so good anymore, does it? And it's exactly the same guys. Cust was saying, you know what they need to do, Meaney? They need to get the ball in the hands of Mecole Hardman today.
Oh, boy.
Maybe
they should try Mecole Hardman out at quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes couldn't make him good.
I just think if you got him in some space on some screen passes, he could be special.
They should fucking launch you into space, pal.
I mean, what are you going to do?
You actually had the best. You say a lot of crazy things, a lot of insane things. However, you ate frozen mozzarella sticks.
They were half thawed.
They weren't half thawed. You said you took them out of the freezer after 4 hours.
Yeah, it was a power outage.
Yeah, your freezer doesn't just turn warm after 4 hours.
Whatever. They weren't like.
You also ate bacon bits, hard bacon bits in a bowl.
Years ago.
We haven't even
Just
talked
a
about
handful?
No,
Like
he poured
Skittles or what? Like, how do you eat those
He poured
things?
them in a bowl.
Frozen bacon bits.
And ate them like soup.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Are they still warm? How's the crispiness factor?
Crispiness is okay.
So they could be on longer, is what you're saying.
They obviously aren't salted, so that.
Well, yeah, we just cooked them in the studio.
Not bad.
So we could put them on like 2 minutes longer, get crisp them. Like
I mean, the crisp is actually fine. I got no problem with the crisp.
Okay. So better than you would make in the oven
I think so, yeah.
in half the time.
I was wondering whether you could make a pogo in one of those things.
Pogo.
I don't know. Pogos are not. I say this because you want that really crispy, hot outside, but you need the inside to still be sort of like starchy and tender and the hot dog to cook right. So I think a pogo would be quite a challenge for an air fryer. I'm not sure if it's up to it.
Well, we'll see. Well,
Air fryer could do anything.
Part 2. Yeah, I mean, listen, Meaney, are you pro air fryer too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's one of the best purchases I've ever made. A few years ago, rocking air fryer for everything, man. Onion rings, any kind of frozen like finger food, pizza
I
bites.
thought Paul said last week
don't
onion
know
rings
about
are
pogo,
bad in the
but-
air fryer because it rips all the coating off of them.
No, it's a learning process. You know, you probably have it on too.
You
too hot or
literally
too low.
That
make
was
up
not me.
things you think you heard people say and then believe it.
Somebody said
Bro,
that.
Lies.
I've been celiac since I had an air fryer, so I haven't had onion rings since then. So it definitely wasn't me.
Okay.
Yeah. Part 2 of Cust Cooks is we're going to teach you how to use the air fryer. And then you have to eat the things that you cook in it. So if you fuck it up, you still need to eat it.
Well, that sounds like a challenge.
It does sound like a challenge. It's a challenge every
fries?
single Sunday. Yes, I'll have some shoestring fries. But tell everyone your actually brilliant idea about what the Jets should do with Zach Wilson.
They should cut him so he can't play anymore.
That's a great idea.
It's just like in Moneyball when the manager Art Howe wouldn't stop playing the first baseman Pena over Hatterberg. And what was Billy Bean's solution? Was to just get rid of Pena off the team. So he had to play Hatterberg at first base. That's what the Jets have to do. They simply just have to cut him. There's no trade value. He can't win. You're not giving. It's over. It's like you have a lottery ticket and the numbers have been announced and you've lost. Why are you hanging on to the lottery ticket? It's not going to miraculously happen that they're going to like go back in time and call the numbers again. Like, it's over. Get rid of the lottery ticket that's lost. Oh my goodness. It's so disheartening because they're in these games, they can compete, but they're not going to win without a quarterback, and they don't have one. Try something else.
Paul?
As a Bills fan and somebody who's in a contest or a bet with Tim for most wins between the Bills and the Jets, I watched the end of that game going like, please don't hurt Zach because we need these idiots to keep running him out there every single week.
And they'll oblige. They will oblige till somebody with some sense and some authority just simply cuts him. Problem solved.
I think it's...
That may happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
No, it won't happen.
It won't happen because Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh get to coast on this. Mm-hmm. Every time that Zach Wilson gets to start, it's like, whoa, there's nothing we can do.
And then they turn
he
around
sucks.
And then
what can we do?
I mean,
it's not our fault.
There has to be a mutiny in the locker room.
And that happened last year, as people forget.
And that got rid of him.
Yeah.
People like Garrett Wilson and Quinnen Williams have to go up to him and say, if he plays, I don't.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so either. But I mean, Tantamount did that last year by saying we have no confidence in the guy. He's got to go, and then they got rid of him. I mean, they benched him, made him the third string, didn't dress him in a game. Like, if the people who should know better refuse to know better or refuse to act, someone's got to do something to save it. It's only week 3. You're only 1-2. Like, it's not over yet. Like, the game ain't done, and it's going to be if you just give up.
And their team almost, I think, will be the inverse of Miami. And maybe Miami will continue to be strong once the cold weather ends up coming. Maybe they get a favor that they play a lot of these teams at home, but it's not like it's going to be super duper hot in Miami come January.
No.
But the Jets should theoretically get better as the season goes along with a great defense. Although, listen, you can put some of the blame on the offensive line. It sucks. This we know. But when it's 4th and 10 in the last play of the game and you're Zach Wilson.
Check down for 2 yards.
Just throw it up. Throw it past the first down marker somewhere. Like, what's the difference at that point?
Unbelievable.
But check down to a chance. Like, again, just a play that has no chance of success.
0% chance. Like, anyway, man, it's just, it really just, I don't know. Like, I've kind of given up in the sense of, like, when he plays, I know they can't win. It was just like last night. I knew the Irish were going to lose because they always lose those games. So, yeah, it hurts when they lose, but not as much as it used to because I've more or less resigned to the fact that that is our fate until such time that something radical changes.
Someone put in here, like, Kaepernick is still in shape. Honestly, I would cut Zach Wilson, at least let him get blown up for a game.
Sure.
Like I said, how could it be worse?
It couldn't be worse. They're going to play Zach Wilson next Sunday night against the Chiefs, who have a very good defense, apparently. And, like, if you thought 41-3 was bad for the Bears, you ain't seen nothing yet.
You guys see RG3 on the broadcast last week trying to say that he could play?
Why can't he?
He could play. He probably could play better than Zach Wilson. He would throw it up at least. And that's the thing I don't get either. Is the 4th and 10 and the check down. He just doesn't seem to be smart. Like, he's not smart. He doesn't get it. And I think that we actually could see some of the teammates kind of call him out. The locker room has to be a mess. Last year, Elijah Moore called Garrett Wilson too. They both called out the quarterback play. I see Garrett Wilson freaking out on the sidelines, and he just seems like a type of guy that, like, he won't have it anymore. Like, he just seems like he would jump on the mic post game and say, "I'm not playing with this guy anymore." Like, could you imagine if something like that happened? Who's the backup? I don't even know who the backup
Tim Boyle.
is.
It's Tim Boyle. Detroit,
get him out there.
Detroit Lions Thanksgiving legend.
Is
Tim
he
Boyle.
an amputee or something? Like, why hasn't he not been given a chance?
I don't know.
At this point?
I have no idea what's going on.
He has no arms.
What is
That's all they had money left after they signed Randall Cobb and
Fewer
Alan
arms
Lazard.
for him to throw interceptions with or checkdowns on 4th down with. Great. I mean, you had Dexter there on the broadcast say, the Jets are in a situation, aren't they?
He had run out of negative things to say about the Bears. Just moved on to the Jets in casual. Holy shit! Adam Thielen had a fucking day. He scored a touchdown. 11 for 145 and a touchdown. They're going to lose by 10. Dalton, good for receivers. Dalton. Should have played Dalton this week instead of the Goof. The Goof had like an okay game, but
He played well.
yeah, Detroit played fine. They could have cashed in more.
Now through 3 weeks, like those of us who took Detroit to win the division are feeling much better about ourselves.
Yeah, I still think that Minnesota is their biggest threat.
But
And they're 0-3.
They're 0-3. Yeah, like
Although the Packers are 2-1, like they're tied with Detroit. We'll see. They're the
Packers
Thursday
are
night
1
game.
and 2.
No, they won today
Oh, they came back to win.
came
You're
back
right.
and
The
won.
Packers are 2-1.
Yeah.
And they didn't have anybody today. They play on Thursday night
against Detroit
for
the
first of their
division lead.
for the first of their 2 Thursday tilts this season.
So let's rank the worst teams. I think the Jets have to be in the conversation. If they're playing Zach Wilson every week, they're one of the worst teams in football.
No disputing that.
Because we were watching the Chicago game and they played Denver this week, and I looked at you and I said I still think Denver's way better than Chicago is, and they might lose to Chicago because Fields might go off. They might listen. As has been pointed out online and even during the broadcast meeting, no designed runs for Justin Fields at all. And then they started running only designed runs for Justin Fields when they were down by 45 points and they got fucking concussed. Like, what are they
They're
doing?
such a joke, man. They're such a joke. And I don't want to put it all on Justin Fields. Obviously, he does a lot of he's really hesitant with his passes. But they called the same play in a row 3 times last week. And Shaq Barrett had the touchdown, and the Bucs broadcast talked about that play, and he had said, well, they called the same play 3 times in a row. So like can't really take any credit for that. And now all you hear is design runs, no design runs, down in the football game, 40 points, not throwing the football. DJ Moore is on the sidelines. Looks like he just hates his life, like he's ready to retire from the game of football because he has just gone from shitty quarterback to shitty quarterback to shitty quarterback to shitty quarterback. He's in this situation in Chicago right now where it does not look like it's going to get any better for him. Like his receiving yard props at 40 and his catch props like 3.5. I'm like, yeah, he'll probably get there. And he doesn't even get not one grab.
But they have the first
I think
and
the Bears are
second
the
pick
worst
in the
team in
draft.
football.
What are
I
they
think
going
Chicago's the worst team in football.
Well,
I agree.
We're gonna get this. This is gonna happen. Chicago's gonna end up with the number 1 pick again, and Caleb Williams is gonna be available, and they'll be like, "But, Justin Fields is really good.
I don't think they'll
He's
pass
really
him.
good. He's so sick. Justin Fields, MVP candidate. Bears going Super Bowl. Justin Fields can't take Caleb Williams. Let's trade the pick.
I really don't think that would happen.
It just happened.
You can't trust the organization. You can't trust them. They traded a 2nd-round pick for Chase Claypool. Like they can't be trusted at all. I would lean more towards what Pat is saying. I don't think I don't agree with it. It should be Caleb Williams 100%. But I could see them trading out of that pick and say, well, no, we'll get a new OC or we'll get a new head coach.
Well, they'd get
we'll
like
just change it up a
5
little bit.
first-round picks for
Well,
it.
they need a new DC because of things that no one will say happened, and no one knows what happened, but it wasn't illegal according to the broadcast.
That's what they said.
People should really get out and say what it is. If it's not like anything suspicious, they need to tell us what that is because people will continue to make up whatever the fuck they want to make up. And it just sounds horrible every second it goes by.
It's not good.
It's not good. But they're on the broadcast saying it's nothing. If it was something and they were saying that, I feel like they'd be in a lot of trouble. Wouldn't they? Or would they not be? Or would we just
Fire
say
everyone.
whatever you want?
I don't know.
Okay. In terms of legality, we don't know?
I don't know.
Okay. I guess the excuse for Fields today would be he made one nice pass and DJ Moore dropped it. That happened. He made one nice pass.
Every professional
No, he's a
quarterback-
hero. He made one nice pass and it was
Every
dropped.
professional quarterback should be able to make. Zach Wilson can make one nice pass. Everyone can make one nice pass.
Well, this was the Sam
behind the
Darnold.
line of scrimmage.
Well, this was the Sam. This was the
me
Sam
about
Darnold thing for years that you and Jeff would keep going on about. It's like, well, Jeff would say, well, you should see like the 1% passes he makes. Like, yeah, we can't make the fucking other 99% of passes. That's the problem.
Crawl across broken glass for Sam Darnold right now. I would. Or Mike White. Oh, when I saw Mike White come in for Miami, I was like, oh, man. Come on. This is so cruel. We would have won the Super Bowl if he was quarterback. I really believe that because we have all the pieces. We just need somebody who isn't the absolute worst. My whole future was stolen from me.
Random name in the chat says Chicago has more potential than Denver. I don't believe that.
What does that mean?
There is a chance that Chicago has 0 good players.
They were the worst team in football last year, and they followed up with losing 3 terrible games in a row this year. What in the name of God is their potential?
Well, you can't let Justin Fields throw too much. You might shake his confidence, like Greg Olson said on the broadcast. The guy's been in the league fucking 3 years.
Yeah. They don't want to shake his confidence. Like he's like a 19-year-old rookie coming in as a junior from college or something. He's there for 3 years. If he can't, anyway.
Imagine how good he'd be on the Jets, though.
It would be a step forward.
Would it, though?
Yes, it would be a step.
Would it?
As I believe you said 2 weeks ago on the Best Bet show, anybody in the NFL is an improvement.
You are correct, because I even went to bat for Desmond Ridder, who's absolutely terrible,
he had
as
passes
being better than Zach Wilson.
Desmond Ridder had passes today that were horrific.
They were really bad.
Horrific. He's not good. He's Atlanta's a team that could do something if they had quarterback play, but they don't.
Washington as well. I mean, they moved the ball well until Sam Howell sacked 9 times, and then he threw 4 picks. But there was a few of them he just threw it to Buffalo, which was kind of crazy. So let's do these rankings. Are we saying that Arizona's not in the contention with the worst team, right?
No, not
like
right
they're
now.
spry.
No.
They should. Yeah. They really should be 2-1 right now. They could even be 3-0. They had every chance to beat Washington in that first game.
They were winning into the fourth quarter against Washington in week 1. So we're going to say Denver. Is Pittsburgh?
Chicago, this version of the Jets.
Chicago, this version of the Jets. Who else sucks? Tennessee kind of sucks.
Bengals until such time that Burrow's back and healthy.
Yeah, what? Okay, so Tim has this decision tomorrow night, Meaney. He has both somehow. This worked out for him that he has Burrow and Stafford as his quarterbacks on his fantasy team. There's no way you can play Burrow, right?
No. And I think I wouldn't be shocked if we hear that Burrow's like placed on IR tomorrow.
I think he should be.
Yeah. I don't think he's anywhere close to being ready. You know, Jamar Chase wasn't trying to break any news on Friday, but I saw Jay Morrison, who covers the Bengals, interview him and post it later. And Jamar was like, no, I've been telling him and the entire staff that he shouldn't play. I told him week 1 that he shouldn't play. Hopefully he listens to me. So I thought that was pretty telling. Jamar Chase has been pretty vocal. Like he's a guy that maybe talks a little bit too much. Maybe the organization want to scale him back a little bit. But no, you got to roll with Stafford, man. Stafford's chucking nonstop. Puka Nacua is the best thing ever. Tutu Atwell, Kyron Williams catching balls out of the backfield. It's an easy decision, Tim. You roll with Stafford.
Even though Chase
and Baker. I would even play Baker over Burrow.
I also have Chase, though. So...
Well, here's the problem is going to be. Like, Chase is probably going to be better with Kurt Browning's son. 1988 figure skating silver medalist, Kurt Browning. But even if Burrow's healthy, like even if Burrow's playing, he's not healthy. We just saw him for 2 weeks not being healthy. He sucks.
That's not good.
No.
Not good.
And Stafford's healthy for once. Play him. And all he does is they have the most plays of any team in football by a wide margin, and all they do is throw.
You've convinced me.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
5 touchdowns.
I'm going to make
Joe Burrow.
I'm making the change now.
I do think Cincinnati without Burrow sucks.
Oh yeah, they're not good.
Yes.
Without him.
Yeah. Well, and Rams might be a sneaky defense for tomorrow, the 2-game slate for DraftKings, because the offensive line is atrocious in Cincinnati, and Burrow just kind of, he gets sacked a lot, but he can escape some of it by some of his smartness, the throws that he makes. So I would say the Rams could get like 6 or 7 sacks tomorrow. I wouldn't be shocked with that.
Well, 3,000 Trin. No, it wasn't that. Someone else. Let's see. David Lundy says, I think it's a good comment. Houston is what we thought the Bears would be. Not we, because I've been pretty anti the Bears. This is like the one thing I have going right for me this year. This is the Bears being the worst team in football.
The Texans didn't get picked in our win total draft.
No.
And like when Cam picked the Bears, people were like, "That's the pick that won you the thing."
No, that no one said that.
Wasn't that what the comment said when?
The comments, yeah,
yeah. Not on our show.
Not on our show. We all laughed at Cam.
We all didn't like that pick.
We all also laughed at you about Vegas. Who might win tonight? If Vegas beats Pittsburgh, is Pittsburgh in contention with being one of the shittiest teams?
Pittsburgh has not looked good. They have not looked good. If Penny Pickett is not playing well, if he's bad, Steelers are right there.
Someone says the Panthers.
They're in games. They're in games.
Yeah, they
like they're not good, but like
they're not the worst.
They haven't got a situation going over here.
I think Pittsburgh's better in Carolina, though.
I
think Pittsburgh will win tonight.
I would agree too. What if Vegas stomps them like 30-10 or something?
Yeah, I kind of like the Raiders tonight to keep it close.
Well, who do you like for not scoring the first touchdown?
Oh, I am so out on Brandon Jacobs right now. Be gone. Not happening.
Okay, Brandon Jacobs legitimately retired 8 years ago.
Not Brandon Jacobs, sorry. Wow. Well, Jimmy Graham plays. How wrong could I really be?
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs is what I meant.
Starting running back for the team that's favored, not going to score the first
I don't
touchdown.
think so. After what he didn't do last week, I'm so out. I'm out on Brandon Jacobs, too. I'm out on him, too.
Jalen Warren.
Oh, rumbly bumbly. The best is Brandon Jacobs would come into these short yardage situations and be like, well, the Giants are going to score a touchdown every time that Brandon Jacobs touches the ball. I don't think he had fucking ever scored a 1 yard touchdown. He would just get stuffed every time.
It was like what Ezekiel Elliott did last year. Just get stuffed over and over and over again.
Like, you always think about these like, oh, I think it's because when the Bears put the fridge in that one time and he scored the touchdown.
No, Bettis did this all the time.
Yeah, but Bettis was like a Hall of Fame running back.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, he's good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like the only
comparison.
thing that Brandon Jacob, like, he was like a Frankenstein's monster.
He had that one play on I think it was the opening game of the year against Washington when he like trucked somebody. And he dined out on that highlight for like 7 years.
Yeah, it was like fucking fucking Mike Finley when he got 2 balls at one time in a practice in the preseason, and people went fucking mental about it.
That was such an amazing.
2 of them, and kept both feet in bounds. Like, wow, he's like the best tight end in football.
He's the man.
Aaron Rodgers is throwing to him.
Jermichael Finley was pretty decent.
He was okay. He had like
decent.
2 good
He's all
years.
right. He's
Like
all right.
Jacobs was okay. But they had fucking Tiki Barber, is Tiki in the Hall of Fame?
I
feel
don't
like
think he
should
played
be.
with Tiki. I thought he played with Ahmad Bradshaw.
Is it Ahmad Bradshaw?
I believe so.
I thought it was Tiki. No, Tiki was with,
Ron Dane.
was it Ron Dane? The
Yeah.
Dane train?
Yeah, Ron Dane.
Whoever it was that was playing with Brandon Jacobs was like sneakily the better
it was,
short
it was
yardage
Bradshaw.
guy.
I'm almost certain of it.
Ahmad Bradshaw was pretty good.
He was decent. His most famous
he was.
touchdown was when he tried not to score in the Super Bowl that won the Giants the Super Bowl.
There we go.
Giants are on that list too, by the way.
Oh yeah, the Giants.
Totally
Totally forgot about the Giants.
If the Giants hadn't
Big time.
put together a miracle second half last week, they'd be 0-3 and every bit as bad as Chicago or anybody else.
Trying to think, is Tennessee in this conversation?
Yes, they're terrible. So through 3 weeks, they don't seem to do anything all that well. Their defense.
See, Tennessee is kind of like what we think Denver is. But Denver doesn't actually play good defense.
Really? You give up 70 points? You
I
don't
know,
think they play good
but
defense?
Meaney, coming into the week, people were probably thinking like, oh yeah, if there's one thing Denver can hang its hat on, it's that they have pretty good defense. They don't.
They have a really good
They gave up like
heading
40
into
to
the year,
Washington.
That was the case heading into the year for sure. Like
They have
they had Patrick Surtain shut down corner, but it's actually been Russ, apart from today, who was okay in the first 2 weeks. But they lost at home when they were favored by 3.5 points. They lost week 1 to the Raiders, who I think are a bottom 3 or 4 team. And then week 2, they're favored by 3.5 again to the Commanders, who we just saw Sam Howell struggle big time at home with the 4 picks. And they couldn't stop them at all. So, and I think Washington's a bottom 5 offense.
That's what I was talking
Maybe
about.
they're not, but given that they're 2-1, we can't
Yeah, but
really
listen,
put them there yet.
let's throw record out because I also wanted to kind of make the case. Like when you look at the stats, like
No, but they beat Denver head-to-head.
sure, and they beat Arizona head-to-head
so
as well.
they get to be ahead of those teams right now.
For now, but we're thinking about like if we're going to talk the rest of the season, who is set up for success, who is not set up for success. Like Washington's another. Well, they're front 7. You got to watch out.
I still think
they
they're-
also fucking suck.
I do think they're better than Arizona and Denver.
I don't know.
I do.
They
I
don't
think-
stop anyone.
I'm really curious to see what
Close.
happens after a team gives up 70 points. Like, do people just pack it in?
I don't know.
How long till the rumors start about, you got, the super coach over here who brings in his great system and Bill Parcells' system that hasn't been effective in 20 years. And, like, we're no better. And, like, maybe he needs to ease up on people. Or maybe the game has passed him by a little bit. He missed 1 year being suspended. He missed another year not coaching last year. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, they do have that. They have the most unstoppable play in football, though. Deep to Marvin Mims Jr., which works every time for 50
Marvin
yards.
Mims is good.
Should do it more.
The other team we haven't mentioned yet, but I think they're on the cusp.
Oh,
of
can I
being there.
guess? Can I guess?
Okay. I feel very strongly about this. And in my opinion, they're the team who's the most disappointing outside of the Jets, but that's because of a devastating injury.
Well, we haven't mentioned Minnesota, who's 0-3.
No,
but
they're
I don't
not
think
it.
anyone believes they're like bad.
I would say Jacksonville.
No one wanted to believe me coming into the year that maybe they were secret Cust.
Jacksonville was horrific last week. They were horrific this week. And in week 1, like, they were in a battle to win in the first week. Like, Jacksonville's been the most disappointing team in the NFL outside of New York because of the injury. Like, they have that division is really bad. Houston's bad, but spry. Tennessee's looks like they're flat.
We also have to
Indianapolis has got, like, right now, if I could choose Indy and Indy and the Texans, you gave me them, and the other person wanted to take Jacksonville and Tennessee, I think I'd rather be on the Houston, Indianapolis side of the ledger for who will win the division right now.
You see, I don't.
And that's quite a change for me because I thought Jacksonville was going to be good this year. And I like Trevor Lawrence, but my gracious, they look awful through 3 games.
They do, but you also have to remember there's no, like, people are experiencing C.J. Stroud and whatever this Colts offense is with either Phony Tony, who's not playing, and then Minshew is Minshew the best backup in football?
No, Mike White.
Yes.
Okay, Mike White. But Minshew coming off, like they were able to post a point spread last week, not knowing who was playing quarterback for the Colts.
That's
like
true.
that's a pretty good. It's not an indictment against Anthony Richardson because he's good, but he's also a rookie. Teams haven't seen these guys play before either. So you have 2 new head coaches with 2 new systems and 2 new quarterbacks coming in. Like, defenses aren't prepared for that. Whereas you can have, listen, the Tennessee's been running the same offense for 10 years now. And it's only gotten worse since Arthur Smith left, and Tannehill's getting progressively worse over time. And even what Ridley put on tape week 1 with Jacksonville, it's very similar to what we saw with Jacksonville last year and what Lawrence has been doing. So I could see how earlier on in the year, when we're weighting teams against expectations a little bit, that, yeah, Indy and Houston look good. And I agree that they look good because we thought that they were going to be bad. And we thought that Tennessee would be okay, somewhere in the middle. And we thought that Jacksonville would be pretty good.
They're going to go 0-2 in London, and their season's going to be in real trouble.
They'll be exactly where they were last year.
Yeah. Yeah, they went on a run last year. I think they won their last 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, well, you really can't bank on that, right? That's no way to live.
That ain't no way to live.
No, like if it's like having a good round of golf because you keep making 25-foot par and bogey putts. Like, that is not going to last, right? Sooner or later, that magic's going to run out. So, the Jaguars have Atlanta and Buffalo the next 2 weeks in London.
You got to
Boy,
go
oh
at
boy.
least 1-1.
Boy, oh boy, they better win this week.
Who has Atlanta played so far? They played the Packers and they played Carolina. Atlanta might suck.
Might.
We don't know.
They let the game away today, and
because they suck. When they can't run 400 times,
Yeah.
what are they going to do?
That's it.
Yeah.
They're too one-dimensional. I would agree.
they
Ritter
have-
can't get it done.
they have trouble as well. And I don't know how long Derek Carr is going to be out for, but like the Saints need him.
A few weeks. though.
As soon as he went out, they didn't score another point. They didn't do another thing.
Oh, I don't know how them going out hurt their defense so badly.
No, but they
That
did.
they started
Offense didn't
giving
score
up
another
points.
point.
No, yeah, their offense completely changed. And they missed a field goal to win the game as well.
Yeah.
Someone, Pat Jablonski in the chat says there was a crooked Tillery sighting.
Cliff Jablonski?
That's dead, by the way. Did I send you that?
No.
The guy that created somethingawful.com, OGs of the internet will know Something Awful, and special OGs will know Cliff Jablonski because he hates you. He hates everyone except for that cat that he has. That's about it. But the guy who ran that site died.
Ah.
You don't even know who he is. You're just like thoughts and prayers guy for
R.I.P. for him.
Well, this
That's a
came
funny
up-
website.
This came up, and I just listen. I get that people are wishing him well, and that's what they mean by this. But it's like when Nick Chubb blew his knee out, they're like prayers for Nick Chubb. So he's not gonna fucking die. Like he's going to. It's modern medicine. He'll be back next year playing football.
They didn't get any sympathy from Jeff, I'm sure.
No, we got zero sympathy from Jeff on that front. But like, what are we praying for? That his the ACL surgery goes well?
You hope that
because all of those other people that die under the knife.
I guess they
their
were just
ACL
concerned maybe
surgery?
his career is over.
His career's not. Whose career? Who was the last player? Running back, especially. If Willis McGahee was able to come back and make a Pro Bowl, anyone can do it.
But I would say at this point, when you blow out your ACL, your career is, you're never going to be as good as you were.
Alex Smith. And he ended up coming back anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
And he got and DeMar Hamlin was getting the Alex Smith price. Jeff is just in his glory about this. And the funny thing is, he's still the favorite. He hasn't played yet. What if he
had a snap? No.
What if he plays? What happens then?
All he needs to do is play one special teams kickoff. That's it.
Yeah.
I think that's all it'll take.
We'll see about this. Josh Jacobs is only plus 450 to score the first touchdown. What's Brandon Jacobs?
Probably
What's
much
Warren at?
deeper.
Warren, Jalen Warren, or Warren from Something About Mary?
Plus 600 at the Polar Bear.
Oh, at the Polar Bear, plus 600?
Touched my baseball.
All right. Should I bet Kelvin Austin? Because we lipped our friend about keeping Kelvin Austin in a keeper
We
league.
didn't know who he was.
Miles Boykin plays for the Steelers? These first touchdown odds have gotten ludicrous. Like random jabronis who are very clearly not going to play are now like 33 to 1. You used to be able to get like decent players at 25 to 1, Meaney.
Yeah, like starting tight ends, or again, go back to our fantasy days. You were always taking tight ends, starting tight ends, and they were like 35 to 1. Ronnie Bell was 35 to 1 last week, and he should have been 45, 50 to 1. I would take maybe a defense. So I'll go to Steelers. First touchdown, defense. Jimmy G, pick 6.
Yimmy, he's so handsome. Even in the preview stuff for this, he's so handsome.
I think that
What a jawline.
if Adams can play, Adams is just going to dance.
Adams is playing.
Yeah, and if he's feeling 100%,
Yeah,
he's going to dance right through the Steelers secondary. They better have an answer for him.
You would think so. We'll see how that goes. So the A block, very quickly before we get to the spreads, I want to program the A block
Okay.
for tomorrow. It has to be Tua.
That's the number one question, no doubt. 70 points. Is this the best offense we've seen in a generation, et cetera, et cetera?
Do you think it is the best offense we've seen since, let's say, what is the best offense in your mind, the most recent best offense?
How far would we have to go back? Like, to me, is the greatest show on turf too far?
I would have said the Brady Moss Patriots. That
The 07 Patriots?
the under one more to
18 and
No,
one more to go. Oh, whoa. Loss.
They were unstoppable. Like they were a team that'd be like fourth. Hey, it's 4th and 4. Yeah, we'll go for
The
it.
2013 Broncos that went to the Super Bowl, I think, had better numbers.
The-
They were one of the greatest
The
offenses
big
of all time.
Mahomes year, the first big year, the year he won MVP, 2017, 18.
19.
17.
19.
Or I guess it would have been 18, right? 18, 19?
His first year was 18, but he didn't win that year. I think he won it in 19, the year they won the Super Bowl.
Oh, someone
No,
mentioned,
that's a lie. It was 18. 19 was the year he got hurt, and Jackson won.
someone mentioned that the Ravens played bad today, but the refs did cost them a 3-0 start. That was egregious, that non-call, but they fucking sucked today.
They shouldn't have been
They
there
sucked
to begin
week
with.
1 and beat the shit out of Houston, but they were bad week 1 and beat the shit out of Houston. They got by Burrow, who can't stand up last week. Like, they might be real cussed.
Yeah, I mean, they are living
Who's going
off
to win
of
that
Lamar.
division?
There's a chance like Cleveland's awesome.
Cleveland's problem is
Yeah.
Cleveland's great except the quarterback
Well,
position is still.
should we release moment
Yes.
moment of the day today?
There's no other one.
There is only one moment. Meaney, this is a new segment we're doing, the random moment of the day, which really speaks to you in any sort of way. Has to be Deshaun Watson getting spun around. I think he thought he was faced forward and threw the ball backwards. And they killed my super lock by 30 points. My
Yeah.
gold pick. But just, I don't know what the fuck is going on with him.
I still think Baltimore will settle things, and but if the Bengals go out and win tomorrow night with a backup QB, I don't know. None of those teams are out of it. It's all still very live.
I don't think that they're out of it either. And listen, Baltimore can turn it around. I have not been impressed by one thing Baltimore has done so far.
I think Lamar's played decently.
Oh, by the way, the super fucking offense. Oh, yeah, we got to get rid of Greg Roman. We got to bring in Todd Mencken. Oh, yeah, he's fucking great.
Oh yeah, the great Todd Mencken, who I mean,
You know what our play is? Throw for 3 yards at a time. And Lamar, you run around in circles and try to beat
you
everyone.
noted all their players are like Nelson Aguilar and just cast-offs.
Well, everybody's hurt too. Again, I know it seems like an excuse, but they were without 7 or 8 starters.
Everybody was hurt
I
on
heard
Green
the
Bay
broadcast
today.
talking about that. Yeah, and for sure, and they came back and they won that
The
football game.
team that the Ravens were playing were down their quarterback. And their running back, who is apparently not on the team anymore.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Is Zach Moss, legit good, by the way? He had 30 carries today.
I don't know if he's legit good, but he's definitely going to get all the opportunities he can handle. I mean, last week was the same sort of deal. 26 or 27. Does Jonathan Taylor play again?
Not for Indianapolis.
I don't think he plays this year.
I don't think he would either. I was thinking maybe Zach Moss would be a good buy low candidate because everybody wants to sell high on him,
I
but
kinda thought
he may just
Cleveland
play
might
all
just-
year and get 20 touches a
I
game.
kind of thought someone like Cleveland might turn around and offer them a third-round pick for him.
I think they realized that they don't need they had Chubb is a one of one asset, especially for what they do. But picking up a running back, listen, if you have money to eat, who cares if you just get Jonathan Taylor for free? Then sure, who cares? But you actually have to give something up. I don't know how much he really.
Yeah, no, it's fair point.
Clearly, Indianapolis is fine without him.
Nope, they are.
And they're not good. So, Greg Olson being confused about criticizing the Bears and Fields, but trying to sound nice while he's doing it, and then he just finally gave up.
Yeah, he was exasperated. He was upset. He was frustrated. He was confused. And then he just started talking about, various things that Taylor Swift was up to. And did you know she was at the game?
Well, I mean, bigger celebrity at the game, Taylor Swift or Chris Christie. You think he's getting tips from Jerry about the Republican debate coming up?
Yeah, that's exactly the advice he needs.
If Trump said that he would join this Republican debate, do you think he would get moved off Fox Business
Yes,
Channel?
I
pretty
do. I
quickly?
think it would be on primetime network immediately.
100%.
But Taylor Swift's "Let's Fucking Go" on the touchdown. that's got to be like it's going to be the biggest gif of this football season. I think
It's got to be one of them.
Yeah.
that's going to be everlasting.
Yeah.
So yeah, this Miami offense. I don't know what it looks like in December.
Next week's a marvelous challenge. Buffalo has played very good defense 3 weeks in a row. They've played good defense. Like the Jets won on a special teams touchdown. They didn't score any points. Last week, the Raiders had a good drive, and then things went sideways, and Washington did nothing after putting up 35 the week before. So Buffalo, Miami should be an excellent game. If Miami rips through Buffalo, it's off to the races.
Oh, boy.
They will be favored in every game, in every spot, if they stay healthy, to the end of the year.
By the way, Arizona is one of these bottom teams as well.
Yeah,
They're
definitely.
not good.
But they're
Absolutely.
But everyone just assumed like, oh, first pick going to Arizona.
No. They're like in the second tier of bad.
Yeah, they're better than Chicago.
Yeah, we all thought they'd be like the worst team and the most pathetic. They're nowhere close to the most pathetic.
Do you think that Philadelphia losing its coordinators to two teams that are kind of like upstart and plucky at the moment, Arizona and Indianapolis, is the reason? I mean, Chris, you're an Eagles fan. They don't look right.
No, they don't look good at all. They finally got to their true identity, which is running the football last week. I know everybody wants Jalen Hurts to air it out to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, but it's a team for the past couple of years that just ran the ball really well. And
you can throw it to Goddard a
in the
few
first
times. I
half
could
of
use
game
that.
Against yeah.
I could use that a few times.
Yeah, I mean, he did get some catches, but there's no yardage on those catches last week. New OC, new DC, like that's tough for a team to kind of overcome. And I just felt like they were kind of forcing it last week and halfway or even the start of the season. And then halfway through that game against the Vikings, they just ran the ball nonstop. And that's what they should do. So I think that I'm concerned about them. I think the Bucks could upset them.
They're going to eat
tomorrow night.
Baker Mayfield
I don't know.
alive tomorrow night.
I think they might eat Baker alive, but it does seem like Tampa's like offensive game plan has been pretty solid. Like, let's not put Baker into bad positions. And,
that would be
and listen,
smart.
and they seem very content with, you know what? If it's not there, we'll punt. Our defense is okay.
Yeah, that's a thing. They still have players defensively. Like Devin White's still a beauty. Like they have a lot of guys that, were on their Super Bowl winning squad just a couple of years ago on that defensive side of the football. So I don't think they're as bad as people thought. That's another team. Like everyone just assumed the Bucks would be a bottom 5 team. The division is, I think trash too. Just like the AFC South, it's a little bit better. The Saints have a great defense. The Falcons are frauds. Carolina's no good, and the Bucks may be hanging around. 500 may be good enough for them to hang around with a couple weeks left in the division.
7-10 was good enough last year.
We have a Ravens fan, Riku's in the chat. Everyone blames the offensive coordinator. The real problem is Harbaugh. He's just not a good head coach.
Yeah, you should.
And he said no one outside of Baltimore understands that.
Okay.
You don't understand.
All right. Well, I guess I don't understand then. Sorry, I don't understand. I mean, I don't think Harbaugh's doing a great coaching job.
If
But
you had the opportunity right now to trade Robert Saleh for
Yeah.
John Harbaugh, would you?
Sure.
I mean, sure, 100% you would do that.
Sure, I would. Yeah, I'm not gonna say no to that. We got bigger problems than Robert Saleh. I mean, he's part of the problem, but I don't know how much decision power he actually has.
One first thing that pops to mind: who's the best team in football? It's the Niners.
Yeah. San Francisco by a hair. Miami's right there with them.
I don't think Miami's there.
I think Miami would score a lot of points on them.
I think so too, but I think San Francisco
don't
would score
know
a
that
lot of
their
points on
offense-
Miami.
Yeah, be an interesting game.
Very
I
similar.
still think I like KC more than Miami.
If this KC defense is real,
They're
that's
right-
a real problem for everyone else.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. KC, Niners, Dolphins. Those are the right now. Those three are sort of a cut above. And if the Eagles play well tomorrow night, I'm going to put them right there with them.
I don't know. I mean, I think that Miami has like, because you have to remember where like when you're thinking about preseason expectations. And yes, the Dolphins have looked amazing. It's been 3 weeks,
70 points.
but like Phillies look kind of terrible, but they're still 3-0 at this point.
Well, they will be if they win tomorrow night. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay, they're 2-0 coming
Yeah.
into the game. So they're undefeated. They still haven't looked good in the game. The Chiefs have a loss, but no one's saying that the Chiefs aren't one of the best teams in football. So I'd still say it's probably like San Francisco, Philadelphia, Kansas City are probably occupying that top tier. And then you would have...
I still think the Dolphins are right there with them.
I think
I
the Dolphins. I mean, we're going to
when-
guess the games.
When DVOA comes out, the Dolphins will be probably 1 or 2.
Whatever. It's fucking 3 weeks of DVOA.
Okay,
Who
but that's what
cares?
I'm asking. You're asking me who the best
But I'm
team
going
is.
to ask you, like, we're going to guess the odds here in a second, and Miami's playing at Buffalo. You seem to think that Miami's going to be favored in that game.
I do.
I don't know what the spread is. I guarantee you they're not.
I mean, I feel less confident about that
don't
given
think
that
so
Buffalo blew out Washington. Had they beaten Washington 24-14,
You think that'd be worth 3-4 points on the spread?
I couldn't imagine anybody that the books could hang a plus sign next to Miami, that it wouldn't get evaporated.
Smash the like and sub to the channel while you're here and download the podcast because this will be a nice companion piece. Plus, we got 2 shows coming out tomorrow. We got the rankings with Jake Seeley and Pat, Jeff, and Cam for the Ryder Cup preview. It's going to be great. So tune in to the Mayo Media Network. And at 2 p.m. Eastern, tomorrow live on Mayo Media Network, Tambo and Hoop will be breaking down Monday Night Football in terms of the props, in terms of the DFS side of things. So shipitnation.com, code Mayo will get you 10% off. They're running they're giving away memberships too tomorrow. I think 6 of them, something like that. So tune into that show. Tons of stuff going on at Mayo Media Network. Sonic Cod says, don't sleep on the Lions. They look like a top team this year. Okay, guy from Detroit who doesn't have a fucking clue.
I mean, I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. I think they're
They're
good.
not.
I think they're good. I think
they're fine.
They're one of the 4 best teams in the NFC, but what does that get you? We'll see.
Are they a top 10
Are we cooling
team
it
in
on
football?
Dallas? Are we? Like,
No,
is
Dallas is way better than Detroit.
They're better.
does
than-
anybody have any concerns about their offense though? Like, I
Yeah,
guess-
they do this though. I mean, this is them in the playoffs every year.
Yeah, I mean,
It's this game.
I'm not so worried about them right now. Once they get down to the short strokes of having to play like the Eagles and the 49ers, and that's where the trouble begins.
All right, let's guess the odds here. From DraftKings Sportsbook.com, if you're going to lose money betting on football, or maybe even win money, who knows? Like, if you bet on Brandon Jacobs as first touchdown scorer tonight, you might lose money. Josh Jacobs, maybe that could do something for you. Anyway, Josh Jacobs, not JustJacobs.com, DraftKings Sportsbook.com, the sponsor of the Pat Mayo Experience. Smash a like and sub to the channel. Rate and review the audio podcast as well. Let's guess these spreads. I will go first, then Cust, then Meaney. That will be our order. I say if someone, we'll change the rules. If someone guesses the number exactly, it's worth 2 points.
I love it.
Okay, sure. I'm on board with it.
Does that sound good? We'll tweak the rules as we go on. We'll come up with a good system for this at some point.
I don't think the third person should get that because they could be playing.
All right, if you go
Price is Right
first or
rules.
second,
Yeah.
then you get 2 points.
That
if
I
you
agree
get it
with.
exactly
That I agree
right.
with.
That sounds fine?
Yeah.
All right, so
Sleep
Pat,
on
you're up
the
first.
Lions. Okay.
Pat is
Yeah,
up
let's
first.
go. Yeah, I'm going first.
Speak-
We
Speaking of
have
which-
the Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers.
Lions by 1.
Pat has been looking at the Lions. He already secured 2 points right out of the gate. Boom. All right, so then it goes
Playing catch up now, huh?
Meaney or Cust?
Cust.
Cust. You are up now. We've got the Atlanta Falcons at the Jaguars.
Okay, but it's a neutral site game. It's in London. Jags by 2.
Nope.
Meaney.
Jags by 3.
England's team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are by 3. You nailed it.
Meaney's on the board for 2.
He's on the board for 2. Watch out. All right. Meaney, you're up first on this one, too. We got the Ravens at the Browns.
Oh. I say Cleveland by 1.
Nope.
Cleveland by 2.5.
Nope.
Ravens by 1.
Cleveland by 1.5, which I think means Meaney wins.
Yeah, Meaney gets that. He's off by a half point.
Yeah, it's the wrong line. Baltimore should be favored there.
What? We just talked about Baltimore might not be any good.
I still think they're better.
1.5 on the
I don't
road
think the
doesn't
Browns are that
seem
good.
like very much. If Browns are the class of the division, it's an interesting spot.
Yeah, the Browns are at home, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I still think the Ravens should be favored.
Why do you think that the Ravens should be favored on the road against Cleveland?
They just
they're
lost
better.
to Indy at
Lost
home.
at home to the Colts.
Okay. I don't want to bet the Browns.
All right. We got the Miami Dolphins at my Buffalo Bills.
And it's me?
Correct.
Well, I think the Bills are favored. That I will put out there. Fuck it. I'll say the full 3. Bills by 3.
Nope.
Not right.
Pick them.
Nope.
Buffalo 2.5.
Buffalo 2.5 is the number. Pat, if it makes you feel any better, that 2.5 is juiced to minus 118.
Damn it!
So it's almost like
It's
maybe
gonna be
if we-
3 very
It's gonna be
soon.
3, but
Yeah.
it's a tough game. It's a tough game.
So
Miami's been
Meaney has
dynamite.
4 points. I have 2, and Cust has none.
None.
So Cust is up now with the Vikings at the Panthers.
Dalton's probably still starting
That's
in
what
that
I
game
would
too.
Vikings by 3.5.
Nope.
Vikings 2.5.
Nope.
Vikings by 3?
Pat gets the 2 points
middle.
by a process of
That's
elimination.
only 1 point for me because I went last.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
That's why it's only 1 point.
People have now opened up a tweet deck column for Brandon Jacobs to see if he is still living at this point.
It's like,
Oh no. Yeah, if Josh Jacobs doesn't get the first touchdown, I'm gonna be very worried for Brandon.
Imagine if all of a sudden, surprise signing Brandon Jacobs,
Oh, man,
and then he died on the field like DeMar Hamlin, but then came back. Would he win comeback player of the year?
Jeff wouldn't be impressed.
No, he would not be.
All right, next up,
Yeah.
we've got the Rams at the Colts.
I bet you Minshew plays again, too. And this is Cust's turn first? No, it's Meaney's turn first.
Yeah.
Correct.
Rams
Okay,
Rams at Colts.
Oh, man. I'll go Rams by 1.5.
Nope.
Colts by 2.5.
Nope.
Colts by 1.
Colts by 3.
Cust got it.
Oh. What is it?
Colts by 1.
Colts by 1? Really? Even on a short week for on
That
the,
could- that
on the
could-
road short week for the Rams?
If the Rams come out and beat the Bengals, they'll become the favorite,
I agree
even
with
on
that.
the road. In
I
that
do
game.
yeah,
agree with that.
if they beat the Bengals.
But they're
sure.
still the dogs in the game, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, so Pat, you're up first.
Yep.
We've got the Steelers at the Texans.
I like the Texans.
I
I don't know
like
what the
the-
number
I like
is.
the Texans
I don't know what the
immediately.
number is, but I like the Texans.
Well, here's the funny thing. Like the Steelers are 3-point dogs tonight in this game
Yeah.
to the Raiders, who suck.
Yeah.
But the public don't think that they suck nearly as badly as the Texans do.
I
The
think
Texans don't suck.
I think Pittsburgh is favored in this game,
Oh, yeah.
but I'm going to say it's Pittsburgh by 1.5.
Nope.
I'm wrong. You're here.
Pittsburgh by 2.5.
Nope.
Let's just go the other way. Texans by 1.
So Cust wins because it's Steelers by 3.
Wow.
All right.
They're going to beat. They're gonna,
It's all public perception.
Yeah, but
right?
Houston's going to like revert back into being real shitty.
Probably.
We'll see. And it really depends on what happens tonight. Next game.
We got the Bucks at the Saints.
Ooh, this is big for my Bucks to win the division bet.
Is it me?
I believe it's Meaney? No,
thought
it's
it was you,
Cust.
Cust.
Yeah, I just went first.
Bucks at Saints. Don't know what we have a line on the game?
We got the line on every game, my friend.
Okay.
They're basically telling us there's no difference between Jameis and Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Saints by the full 3.
Full 3 is correct. 2 points for Cust.
Now I'm in last.
Baby.
Got off to too hot of a start.
We got so first up is Meaney.
Yep.
We've got Cincinnati at Tennessee.
Oh, man. I'll say Cincy 2.5.
Nope.
Tennessee by 1.
Nope.
Tennessee by 1.5.
Cust gets it.
Just like
Last
the
pick,
Bengals
but
are
that's only
laying
one.
That's what I said.
2.5 into
It's
the
2.5.
Rams tonight.
Yeah, at home.
They got to be
against the
dogs.
Rams.
All right, Pat, you're up.
Yeah.
We got the Washington Commanders at the Philadelphia Eagles.
I love the Eagles in this game. Eagles by 12.
Nope.
It's higher than I would have gone.
Washington sucks.
I was going to say 7.5.
Nope.
7, Billy.
7 is the number.
What?
Wow.
Short
okay.
week, I guess. I don't know.
What?
That's weird.
Wow. See, it's funny. I was thinking 7, but then you spooked me. So I was like, well, maybe it's 7.5 or
Why
8 or
why
higher.
would it be 7?
I was thinking, yes, it's a
They beat them
divisional
last
game.
year
They
in
did beat them
Philly.
last year.
That's great. They
You-
beat them last year.
you-
Fantastic news.
Sounds like you should bet it right now, Pat.
Honestly-
I mean, what's the? I mean, soft
Yeah, I
opener.
would.
Can't get too much
would
money
do
down,
too.
Paul.
Wow.
I can only get 10,000 down on the game tonight.
That 5-point difference, like, you spooked me. I really thought it was going to be
I
a
love
much shorter
Philly.
number.
Watch Philly come out and I mean, it'd probably be even better if they lost. But I got my talked myself
Well, I
out
guess
of.
you know what your super lock's going to be.
Well, I talked myself out of Buffalo this week against Washington on the road.
Yeah.
I talked myself out of Buffalo 2 weeks ago against Vegas.
Yeah.
And I talked myself out of Miami as like big bets for me against Denver. I loved all of those teams to beat up, and they did beat the shit out of them. Like Washington's a team good teams are going to beat the shit out of.
divisional game. I'm with Chris. I understand why it's shorter. That's why I thought it was 2.
All right. Well, I should probably take a look at that the trends thing. It's just like
They'll beat them.
Raiders and Broncos.
Yeah, the Eagles, exactly.
All right, so that's one for Tim, or one for Meaney. Sorry.
Chris.
All right, so 5-3.
So Tim's up first.
Yeah.
We've got the Broncos at the Chicago Bears, the Toilet Bowl.
Bears cannot be favored anymore. It has to be a Broncos favorite.
Well, if they're favored, then we know Chicago's the worst team in the league.
I think it has to be Broncos by 2.
Nope.
Denver, man, holy crap. These two teams. Denver, 2.5.
2.5 is the number.
Oh, 2 points for Meaney. Leaving me in the dust here.
First shall be last, and the last shall be first.
All right, Meaney, you're up first on this one. We got the Raiders at the Chargers.
Chargers, 3.5.
Nope.
So many Raiders fans going to be from LA coming to
I
this
know.
game.
You know what? I'm just going to try to make this easy on myself. Chargers by 3.
Nope.
No,
four.
I think
4.
it's got to be. Well, what did Chris say?
3.5.
Okay, so I'll go 4.
4 is bang on,
the
actually.
number.
But that was definitely your strategic
Yeah,
play
it was a strategic. Yeah,
to take everything over what Meaney did.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a bad line. I like the Raiders. Instinctually.
They're showing Josh Jacobs with Ice Cube in this promo.
Instinctually, I think that because I think that's basically a home game for the Raiders. There are going to be so many LA fans there who are Raiders fans.
Tweet from Brandon Jacobs 3 days ago. Still high on Zach Wilson. I think he will be okay.
Oh, goodness gracious.
No wonder you're trying to kill him.
Goodness. That's weird.
Next game.
We got the Patriots at the Cowboys.
This line's gotten shorter for sure.
Is it me?
I think it's you, Pat. I
Yeah.
think Meaney went first.
Dallas by 6.5.
Boom. Pat. Pat needed to catch up.
Yeah.
Nailed it. 2-pointer.
Good one.
All right, Cust. We got the Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers.
So the Niners
Upset alert.
were laying 10.5 into the Giants.
Opened at 10.
Yeah, that's just even worse. 14.
Nope.
Arizona or San Francisco?
13.5.
Nope.
San Fran, 13.
13.
Pat, you made a big mistake there. You should have said 14.5. Which
Oh my
is
God, it's
actually
over the
the number.
It's over
Wow,
it?
the other way.
God,
Yeah.
everyone thinks the Niners are the best team. and
I agree, but
they were laying 10.5 into New York, and people think that Arizona's worse than New York.
yeah, but
So the points had to go that way.
they could go
just
4
beat
that
Dallas.
way?
4 is a lot.
They just beat Dallas, and
You like Arizona plus 14.5 in the game?
I kind of do.
Okay.
I like them in the first. Just bet Arizona in the first half.
Anyway. Yeah.
Very competitive in the first half of
big
every
number.
single game. But the Giants were 10-point dogs at open, and we all knew Barkley wasn't going to play in that game. So that's worth like a point to the Giants anyway. Coming off a game where they barely beat.
No adjustment. They still think Arizona's really bad.
Okay, fair enough. So-
Arizona's coming off of their Super Bowl, beating
Yes.
Dallas.
Old
It's all
divisional-
downhill
an old
from
divisional
here.
rival.
All right, we got the Chiefs at the Jets. The sadness
Sunday night football
bowl. Sunday night
Can this be a
football.
bigger
Lord
line or
help
not?
us.
I wonder.
at the Jets. So, Meaney, you're up first.
16.5.
Oh, the disrespect. No, that's not it.
In this spot last year, was it Tennessee at Kansas City? So it was the Malik Willis game that went to overtime. So that's what you're praying for on Sunday Night Football.
Basically, it's best case.
Is that kind of game. Don't cover your mouth when you're talking.
Yes, that's
into a
just
microphone.
about best case. I mean, winning would be best case, but this would be next best
Chiefs
case.
by. I've seen 12 every single, like, the biggest spread has been 12. It's 12. It's 12. It's 12. I'll say 12.
Nope.
Yeah, they were 12.5 at the Bears.
No, they
home
were-
to
it was
the Bears.
Atkins.
They were
Atkins
home to
City.
the Bears. It was 12.5. I think the defense can get respect. I'll say 11.
Chiefs by 9.
Okay.
A
Cust gets
lot
it.
of respect.
Easy hammer in KC.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that line has to go
How are
up.
the Jets going to score more than 10 points?
They announced Zach Wilson won't be playing.
Who won't score the first touchdown in that game? Just so we can be
Anybody on New York?
A Jet.
Anybody on New York?
Well, you know what? The defense would probably be
Yeah.
the most likely candidate to score.
Yeah, or the punt returner.
Or Brees Hall on just a random rush. Because it won't be Delvin Cook. Good signing.
Yeah, he looks really electric.
I mean, you could have Najee Harris on your team.
Can you throw? We got a place for you.
Can we just start calling Najee Harris Trent Richardson? Because he sucks.
Not good.
Monday night, what is it, Paul?
We got the Seahawks at the Giants.
Gosh.
Is that the only Monday night game?
According to DraftKings Sportsbook's page, it seems to be.
Seattle at the Giants. So Meaney is down 1 to Cust on this. And I believe it is your turn first, Cust. So go ahead.
I think you, Pat.
No.
I think I started with the Jets, no?
He did. He
Oh,
did
yeah, so
start
it is
with
my turn first. Seahawks at Giants. Seahawks by 2.5.
No.
Seahawks by 4.
Nope.
3.5 Seattle.
Seattle 1.5. So Pat gets the point.
But I win.
You win the week with 8 points. Meaney has 7, and I have 6. Thank you all for watching. No one can see you. You're not on camera.
It's like the Beverly Hillbillies, just waving goodbye at everybody. Y'all come back now next week. We're cooking pogos.
You're cooking pogos and having to eat them. You just made yourself gig fit. People don't know what pogos are, by the way.
They don't.
What are they called in America?
Oh, corn dogs.
With that accent? Corn dogs.
That's what they would call them at the Texas State
corn
Fair.
dog.
Corn dogs. We're cooking those.
Can you do like a Texas accent?
I reckon. Yeehaw! Go Cowboys! I like oil.
Tim's going to burn himself so bad on that corn
I know.
dog, by the way. Because, that's really going to
He's
get
gonna
hot
be
inside.
deep throating a corn dog and burn the back of his esophagus. Oh, those look really good. Meaney, at Chris Meaney on Twitter. Check him out at FTN. And anytime that you go get an FTN product, use code Meaney. All right? I'll be back tomorrow with 2 shows. Plus, Ship It Nation has the Showdown show for Monday Night Football. 2 games. So a 2-game slate to go over. They'll be live at 2 p.m. Eastern. So please sub to Mayo Media Network, smash like to the channel, and download the Pat Mayo Experience podcast. And if you don't, you can sub to it at the same time. Then it'll automatically download for you. Thank you all for watching. I'm Pat Mayo. I'll see you next time.